Hi guys, hello boys and girls, hello my dear fellow foreign English speakers, and welcome back to Robbie's English Comedy Video Blog, and welcome to the year 2016. And I'm pretty sure that a lot of you guys are making New Year's resolutions, just like we all do, and also some of you would be making the resolution to study English really hard next year and become fluent in English, right? But here's the thing, if you make the resolution to study English hard, it's actually a double whammy, which means that you're going to fail on two accounts. First of all, if you decide to study English, studying as such is a method of preparing yourself for exams, tests, and the like. That's the typical academic approach, basically, where the education is centered around assessment, typically a test or an exam. Studying is the crucial part of it. You study for a test or exam, then you pass it, and then you move on to the next one. But in reality, when it comes to spoken English performance, studying for it is not going to make any difference. It's all about practicing instead. So basically, you have to shift your focus away from studying entirely and focus predominantly on practicing your English. And it's not just about spoken English, right? As a matter of fact, any English-related activity requires loads of practice for you to become good at it. Whether it's reading or writing or listening or speaking, you can only become good at it by doing it. And you may want to check out this blog post that I published earlier last year, which is all about you being what you do. And spoken English, written English, English comprehension, reading are no exceptions to the rule. You can only become good at practicing those areas. When you study, that rather implies you sitting down and reading a book. That's the typical picture that conjures itself up in my mind when you mention the word study, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys would be the same. When you say study, 9 out of 10 people would be thinking about sitting down at the desk and poring over textbooks and studying really hard. That's the second part of it. Sets you up for failure again, because if you have the concept of doing something really hard, the very word hard implies that it's not going to be enjoyable. It's not going to be an enjoyable experience at all. It's going to be studying, which by its very nature is perceived to be something boring and tedious. And hard makes it twice as hard, twice as boring, twice as tedious. So when you have this concept in your head, I have to study English hard, as a matter of fact, you don't even want to do it deep down inside. And you will find every excuse along the way just to put it off for another day, for a week, for a month. And then the whole next year is going to just fly by in a jiffy, and you'll realize that you haven't done anything. So what I suggest is, instead of studying, make your goal to practice English. Instead of doing it hard, do it the easy way. It doesn't have to be hard. What I'm doing now isn't hard at all. I'm just turning the camcorder on and I'm just speaking away, right? And by the way, you can read an article here about the advantages of recording your speech in a camcorder and how it can improve your spoken English, right? So it doesn't have to be hard. It can be easy, and it has to be easy. It has to be enjoyable, because everything that's hard is not really enjoyable. Well, there's a lot to be said about, say, working out, exercising hard, which is enjoyable. But then again, it's somewhat a bit different, you know. I would rather call it challenging, not necessarily hard. If something becomes too hard, on the verge of you not being able to do it, it's like spinning your wheels on a bike and getting nowhere, stuck in the mud, for instance. It's not an enjoyable experience at all. So I want you to shift your focus away from these seemingly good New Year's resolutions, such as studying hard. I have to study hard and then I'm going to become a good English speaker, or I'll just develop English fluency in general, right? I have to study hard. For some reason or another, you have this concept in your mind, and that seems like the only way to go to succeed, but it's not the case. Get rid of that, get rid of the study, get rid of the hard part, and just practice English regularly and do it in an easy way, in an easy manner. Enjoy the process, right? Whatever it is you're doing, whether you're consuming audio-visual content, or you're reading, or you're writing something, or you're speaking with yourself, doing a lot of English practice, it has to be done an easy way. You just have to do it the way you can manage it. There's no reason for you to set the bar very, very high and aim for it knowing that you're going to fail, that it's going to be too hard. And there's another article I want you to read. There's a video as well called "This English Stuff is Too Easy. Give something more difficult." Give me something more difficult, right? And what made me to create that video was an email I got of one of my customers who said that the English Harmony System's content is too easy, and that he wanted something more difficult. And that's another wrong concept that some of you guys may have, that if you do something easy, it's not going to develop your English. You have to be doing something really hard, push yourself really, in order to develop. Well, there's a certain degree of truth in it, obviously. If you constantly stay within the comfort zone, you're not going to be developing your fluency, say, a great deal. But then again, it's all about practicing. You could be talking about the same things, using the same words all over and over again, but you will still develop within your comfort zone. You will become even more fluent. You don't even necessarily have to acquire a large base of vocabulary words or whatever. All that matters is that you can use the words you know fluently, right? And I hope you get the drift, my friends. Basically, don't aim for something that is hard, difficult. Don't fall for the trap of thinking that only that way you will experience some development. And when it comes to studying, just get rid of that concept altogether. Obviously, if you want to pass certain exams and tests and whatnot, and some study is required, do it. But I strongly believe that you will experience an even greater development, and you will actually prepare for those exams if you practice loads. You will quite naturally know what is the right way of saying or writing this or that particular thing, probably without actually putting in as much study as someone who only studies to pass the exam, if you know what I mean. Okay, so if you have this resolution to study hard, get rid of it and practice the easy way. All right, and obviously, if you have any questions or comments of any nature, publish them in the comment section below, my friends. Thanks for watching this video, and chat to you soon. Bye bye.